What's up, Des Moines? So we're back for the new season. I guess we call it a season or whatever because we moved locations, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
New season of Invitation by Invictus with our new space. So, yeah. What up? When we go into post, we'll put that ta-da music.
Yes.
Confetti. Yeah. My guest today is the wonderful Meddy Paulus. She's actually a really close friend of mine. We've collaborated on. I've lost track of our projects because
enough.
We do a lot.
We've done a lot.
We've done a lot, and I've asked Meddy to come in to kind of talk about herself, her business, being a badass boss babe, because I have my own category of ladies that are in that, and what she does. If for the viewer that does not know who Meddy Paulus is, give us the Cliff Note version of Meddy.
Oh man, the Cliff Note version. I was born, I grew up. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you wanted Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
So I am originally from Des Moines. I'm married. I have one little kiddo and a fur baby. I am a small business owner.
Correct.
Yes. And so an entrepreneur unto myself, kind of accidentally fell into that. And then more recently falling into kind of the nonprofit realm.
I wouldn't say recently because you've always been a part of it, but now you're a little bit more involved.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. And kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of becoming this small business owner / philanthropist / like I'm becoming more outspoken and wanting to really leave my mark on the world, but also hopefully leave something for people to help make the world a better place, so to speak, in my small part.
Yeah. Doing your part to make things better.
Yes.
I think we're all trying to do that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's the Cliff Notes,
that's the Cliff Note version.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to get into much deeper shit.
We'll get into some.
Can we cuss on this? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not. I wish, I got Abby a bullshit button.
Yes.
For Christmas and her stocking stuffer. I should have brought that.
Yes, because why? All of it, call bullshit. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Next time if you come back, we'll have that.
If I'm invited back.
Yeah.
Ratings, guys. Lots of ratings. Give me lots of
Jack those views up. Okay.
True.
So let's talk about Meddy and Black Collar CrossFit.
Okay.
But it wasn't called Black Collar CrossFit.
No.
It was called
CrossFit Ecompos when I initially started.
Where did the name come from? I've always wanted to ask you. I just always forget.
Yeah. So Ecompos is the Greek goddess of the process of healing and curing.
Got it.
And so it came from when I originally started. I was introduced to CrossFit by a close friend of mine, and I was excited about it because what I saw were these really, really strong, beautiful women that were doing what I didn't know what the hell they were doing at the time, but they were lifting and climbing ropes and doing overhead squats and it was super empowering. And I'm like, I want to do that shit. And so then he was like, well, yeah, come check it out. I'm coaching, And so I got into it and I couldn't even hold a 45-pound bar over my head.
When was this? What year?
Oh, God, I don't know. I've been doing this now since, I want to say 2013.
Okay.
Towards the later part of 2013.
Okay.
Jesus.
I know it's been a long time.
Wow. Aging. So here we are. I was like, wow. So yeah. And so started to fall into it and then got into doing classes, a little bit more active, and then he really encouraged me to become a coach.
Okay.
And so then that seed was kind of planted because he was just like, you're really good with, talking to people. You do a great job of cheering people on and encouraging people, and we could use somebody like that.
Right.
And so I was like, well, I'll think about it. Kind of went back and forth on it, and then I went ahead and did it. I went and got the certification for the level 1. I studied and everything, and got into it, started shadowing X, Y, and Z. Started working at the gym that he was working at. And then from there, like, I really found something that I was truly passionate about.
Okay.
I never in my life ever thought that fitness would be something I would be really
Would be your jam.
Yeah. I was not, I mean, I played sports in like junior high and high school, but I wasn't any good. Like, I
Right.
wasn't how most people are like, oh, I was this like super amazing athlete. So, no, not. Like, people laugh at me when I tell them I played volleyball. And I was, see,
For those that don't know,
I'm 4'11". All right. I did. I played volleyball. I was, they referred to me as the back row specialist.
excellent.
All I did was back row stuff.
I got it.
I was good. I was good at diving, all that, and then soccer. But yeah, I mean, fell into it. I really enjoyed, I think what I found and discovered what was really rewarding was that I was helping people see something in themselves that they didn't see initially before.
Right.
One of my favorite and first like closest relationships was a mother. Her and I became really good friends, still are good friends, but she's a mother of 5.
Oh, wow.
5 boys. And she ended up being like the strongest female in our gym, in the gym that we belonged to. And excuse me, her son got into it too, and he was like 15 at the time.
Okay.
Phenomenal natural athlete. And it was so cool to see their relationship develop,
Right.
and them get closer, sharing this very common thing, which was fitness.
Right.
So yeah, I kind of found my niche,
Yeah.
so to speak. And I really enjoyed it. I was having fun. I was building these really cool, phenomenal relationships, having fun, enjoying it. And then basically it didn't work out with the gym that I was at.
Right.
Things kind of went south and stuff. And I was really, really heartbroken. Not only for that, but I also sacrificed a lot of my time and a lot of my time like away from my own family because
Right.
I really wanted this to work.
Yeah.
I really wanted for these for this gym to really work
To succeed.
and to succeed. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were making a difference.
Okay.
We were doing something. And it came down to I made the hard decision of leaving, and I was heartbroken. I was devastated. I was angry. And then kind of this network and small, close people that were closest to me kind of started feeding the idea of, why don't you just open up your own gym?
Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, no, there's no way. Cause I was not like, I had the idea that if you had a CrossFit gym, you had to be like really, really good at everything. And there were other gyms that were already in existence, and they were like kind of top dog gyms in the city. And so I'm like, there's no way I can compete with that type of
Right.
thing. And so then it was a really close friend of mine who was like, no one says you have to compete with them. You're offering something completely different.
Okay.
And they were like, you're offering people an opportunity to be accepted somewhere regardless of their ability.
A community.
And what they look like.
Right.
And that really like,
Made a difference.
oh man, like that like kind of hit home. And
Okay.
so then I had to think of a name. So then I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And with the wonderful support of my husband, who I love dearly.
Tim.
Shout out to Tim.
Yeah, Tim's badass.
Yeah, he is, because he's dealt with a lot.
Yeah.
He was like, if we're going to do this, if you're going to do this, you have to be all in.
Yeah.
This can't be a side gig. This can't be a hobby. You're all in. So
Yeah.
So that was something I had to really consider.
Okay.
I had to put a lot of time and effort, and we swallowed that pill together, and we basically put our life savings to start
The gym.
the gym.
Yeah.
And we started it. And so when I had to think of a name, I was thinking about all the individuals that I had worked with. Mm-hmm. And for them, fitness became the process of healing for them.
Right. Because you
And so
saw
then-
it.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw the
Yeah.
healing, the bonding, the relationships, things like that.
Yes. And so then that's when we came up with Akiso. That's when I came up with Akiso.
What year did Akiso open?
Akiso opened in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then Akiso opened. I would say if anybody that's never been to Akiso or even Black Collar today, Meddy's gym is very much different because it's about that sense of community. It's not about it's not your typical CrossFit gym. Like everybody in there like supports each other. They love each other.
It's like family.
Yeah,
it's become more of like a family. And I know community that word gets like thrown around so much, and it's more now like and culture starts to kind of get thrown around a lot too. But yeah, it's really becoming more of like a family, and we're growing and expanding. And
because I mean I've gone in there a couple times, and you know some people recognize me from the Invictus stuff or hanging out with you, but you know like they've always been super accepting, and even one of your members was like, do you work out? And I was like, oh, you just don't know.
Like I do.
I was like, bitch, don't hold back.
Oh my God. That's amazing. We bring this on. Let's do this.
Let's get this shit done.
Yeah. So, and you saw Akiso before
I did.
We
went into Black Collar.
We went into Black Collar. Before you saw that evolution happen.
I did see this sense of family and loyalty, and you know like it people bring each other up. It's very much so, very similar to like how you know how I run Invictus is you're just as strong as your weakest person. And you see that mentality inside of your gym, which you don't see anywhere else, because you know CrossFit is very much so an individual sport. It really is. But you know, and a lot of people, they just go into CrossFit and they, you know, now with the pandemic and COVID, they work in their box, they do what they need to do, and then it's like they clock in and they clock out, right? But not at your gym. Like they're hyping each other up, you know.
They're all dying together is what they like to say. Like they're like, we're all dying together.
Safety in numbers.
Safety in numbers. Yes. I always enjoy it because I always have little Annie, who's my co-host on my podcast. She always likes to say that she gets her power from her bitching.
Yes.
And I think she's kind of passed that along to some of the other members of the gym. And so I'm just like, whatever gets you through this, guys, here we are.
I'm definitely that kid in the back of the room that's like screaming, fuck, but I'm gritting it.
Oh yeah. No.
When I feel like I need a CrossFit burn, I'm just sending Meddy a message, and I'm like, hey, can you whip my ass? I got 45 minutes.
I got 45. I can do this. Yes.
Yeah. Or can I just come and ride your assault bike because I'm a glutton for punishment?
God. That's terrible, man. I haven't been on that in a hot minute.
Nobody said that ever.
No one.
Okay, so we went from the first phase.
And
then Black Collar came around in,
so
2019?
My gosh, 2019.
We went through a rebrand.
We went through an evolution and a rebrand. And what happened was a good friend of mine, we were kind of talking back and forth. He owns co-owns two other gyms.
Right, Nate Yoho.
Nate Yoho, right? He's going to be like, oh, man. Anyway.
Nate, I just dropped your name. You're welcome.
Yep, there you go.
He doesn't like the notoriety at all.
Does not like notoriety at all. But we had been having kind of like conversations, and him and I had previously, we met earlier when I was starting out with CrossFit Akiso, and he was actually starting out with Merle Hay. I didn't realize like kind of how close in nature when it came to us starting our businesses was. But we always had kind of kept in touch, and we kind of fed off of each other, traded advice, asked what each other was doing, had this connection. And so we just continued to have conversations. And then I went through an evolution where I lost my coach who started with me because he moved. Him and his now fiance moved. Tommy, Him and his now fiance moved to Minnesota because she got a wonderful opportunity for work, and so it was kind of it was a no-brainer. Like we got to do what we want to do and stuff. And that was great. And obviously he was a big part of our gym, and you know, so that was kind of a big hit. But it was also kind of a blessing in disguise, because I myself was starting through my own evolution and discovering a lot of things. I'd made a lot of mistakes in becoming a business owner and learning, and that's just kind of that's the nature of the beast, so to speak.
Yeah, especially in the fitness industry.
And just in any small business. I mean, we make mistakes, and this is how we learn, and this is how we improve and everything.
Correct.
And so we had talked, and so then the conversation of a partnership came in.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where Nate was really, really, he said something to me that really kind of struck me and stuck with me, is that he had told me that I had survived being downtown on my own for almost 4 years.
Yes.
And being a female business owner in a male dominant industry, that says something.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had said, he's like, I believe in what you're doing. What you're doing is important.
Yes.
It's different. It's more than what I've seen from others.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things where he's like, I don't want to see that go away.
Yeah.
So how is it that we can collaborate?
Work together.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah. And that was like mind-blowing to me.
Was it empowering?
It was empowering, and it was just like, it was impactful.
Okay.
Because that's the first time I'd heard it from somebody who didn't know me very well.
Right.
And who didn't see me every day.
Yes.
Like, it's one thing when you hear it from like your friends and your family and your closest relatives and even like your members.
Yes.
It's completely different when you hear it from someone who's on the outside.
Looking in.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy shit. And so then, excuse me. So then we just kind of the wheels started going.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was actually at CrossFit Valley Junction for a video shoot. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there, and he's like, what do you think if I got involved with Meddy? And I was like, do it. I don't think he understood our relationship at the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think if if we rebrand it and rename it? And I was like, I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, he's like, I don't want it to lose its identity. And I was like, oh, Nate, the identity is already there. If you change the name, you're just opening the doors up for more possibility. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, okay. He's like, have you ever been through a rebranding? And I was like, I haven't been through a rebranding personally, but I mean, if the identity's there and the sense of community, and I was like, and like, we probably spent maybe 20 minutes talking about it, and I was like, it's not going to change. If anything, it you're opening up the possibility of more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, what name are you thinking of? And he's like, I don't know yet, but I know that, I have a phone call with her soon, and this is what we're going to be doing. And I was
it was an intense conversation.
Yeah.
It was touchy.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely like, that was the name that I had chosen, initially was Ecompos and stuff. And so it was one of those things that I even had to like have my own conversation with like my circle, like my consult of people, going like, what do you guys think if we do this, a name change and this and that and the other? And it was so interesting. I'm going to like just, if you guys don't have a circle of people like your support system, I'm going to suggest that you go get one. You find them because they are amazing to have.
Yeah.
But it was really, it was cool to hear their perspective and not their opinion, their perspective. There's a difference. And having them talk to me, and it was, and Annie, who's a part of my circle, and even Sam Holstein was just like, you have evolved and you're evolving into something else. We don't know what that is yet.
Correct.
But Ecompos is no longer, like, that's no longer you.
It's just a name.
Yeah.
It's just a name.
It's a name, and it's no longer what you stand for anymore.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. It still resonates inside of your gym.
It does.
But it was I think what I finally told Nate was, if you're ready for the next chapter, and if she's ready for it, she would be open to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was like, Mind
blown.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
but you guys did it so tastefully.
We did.
And-
it was well thought out.
And then, the logo is, if people don't know, that's freaking Meddy. That's her. That's Meddy. So, I mean, how you guys came up with that? Because I was asked at one point in time if I could do it.
Yeah.
But you guys were so far deep into the process
man.
that it was.
Yeah.
I made some suggestions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was like, the Lola that's on the logo.
Lola, yeah.
That's Meddy.
Yeah.
That's based off of Meddy.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
No, bitch, that's for real you. So, but so Black Collar came around.
Black Collar came around,
2019, and then we go into 2020.
Going to 2020.
And then a pandemic happened.
Yes.
So you guys were, Nate, and Thomas basically all sat down and made the decision to close the gyms because this thing called COVID was coming around and it was just spreading really fast.
Yeah.
You guys made this huge announcement and then was it the same day or the next day the governor came back and then?
So it was, I made the call with Black Collar on that Monday because it was like we had this conversation on a Sunday night at 10:30 at night, kind of seeing the writing on the wall. And it was one of those things that I'm like, I'm going to give people one more day. Like I'm going to tell them in person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to send out an email. I'm going to do this the right way.
These are your members.
Yeah. And it was probably one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. Like I still get emotional about it because I'm like, there was so much unknown.
Right.
And there was only so much that we could do within our control.
Right.
That we knew we could have a grasp on. So we did Monday, did the announcement, finished off classes. We shut everything down on Tuesday. Morgan and I sent out at-home workouts for Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think it was literally like Tuesday that the governor was like, okay, Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day,
yeah,
she shut it all down.
Yeah, she shut it down, shut that shit down. And then people were scrambling.
Yeah.
And like, because she literally was like, by noon, you have to, everything had to close. And so I'm just going, fuck. Like,
what are we going to do?
What are people going to do?
So what did you do?
So we were already closed. We were already closed. We were already trying to organize ourselves. And what we ended up doing is we literally took 3 gyms and we turned them into media companies overnight.
Yep.
That's literally what happened.
Yep.
I mean, we got together, assigned things to all
each
the coaches.
Person, yep.
Yeah. Here's what you need to do. Here's what, we need to contact these people, let people know. We started, donating or loaning out equipment. We started Zoom classes online.
Yep.
We started having somebody program. I mean, we just kind of, because there were 3 gyms, so it was easy to have one person program just for because we were going to do all these classes collaboratively together via Zoom. And then we even rented out equipment.
Yeah.
And
I think I rented a kettlebell, an assault bike.
Yeah. You're like, bitch, what do you got? And so, and then it was a lot of being in front of my phone.
Yeah.
I think for the first time, and people probably don't know this or don't realize this, I used to have this terrible fear of how I sounded or looked via camera and phone.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, see, there you go. You actually helped with that by putting me in front of a damn camera all the time.
I did.
You did. You're like, okay, so you're going to do this. And I'm, okay.
I'm like, just act natural.
Yeah. And then
you can say shit, fuck, damn, and I'll make it look like you're saying.
Do these voiceovers and everything. And so yeah, you actually, credit to you because, shout out, credit to you because that's what I did is I spent more time in front of my phone talking to people in my group because we have our own Facebook groups or whatever, and just reaching out to people. Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing well, blah, 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 checking in. I mean, I was fucking cooking breakfast. And I'm like, what's up guys? what are you guys doing today?
Yeah.
You know, talking to myself, and people
Yeah.
are waving and hi, you know, or I'd offer, like, I would be like, hey, is anybody up for coffee? Like, let's just do a coffee talk and you know,
virtual coffee.
Virtual coffee. And we would do that. I mean, so much time in front of a screen and in front of a camera, and
for 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. And I will be very honest, I had never worked that hard, even when I was building my business from the ground up, or worked as many hours as I did during that pandemic. Like, I don't know where people, like, I envy those people that were like, oh, I got to slow down. And I'm like, good for you. Because I was grinding.
Yeah.
We were grinding. Like,
Yeah.
Morgan and I were grinding and constantly, what is it that we need to do to keep people involved? We were reaching out to people like every week.
Yeah.
Checking in with people. Are you okay? This and that.
How many
Do you need
members did
anything?
you have during that?
We had, I want to say we had around about 85.
Okay.
And so we were literally splitting the list in half and going meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I mean, and we had some folks drop off, which was, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
We had, we did have members, you know, leave, and it was more or less because they were like, they were relocating, you know, jobs. I have my gym, I happen to have a lot of people that work on contract or that are, I have a lot of people that are immigrants. And so like with my gym, their time is short with us, but it's amazing. And they go off and then they do the next thing. So then they get hired on to the next contract or the next job or whatever. And so we've been fortunate enough, knock on wood, to not have people leave because they've had a bad experience.
Right.
And I take that very much to heart and stuff, and grateful for that. That's why I like say knock on wood, because
So the members that you lost during the pandemic, you probably would have just lost them in
regardless. Yeah. Because we
normal
kind of
time.
knew. Yeah. We knew, like, we knew that they were moving, relocating. A couple of them were getting married. Some of them, you know, we even had a couple that because they weren't working, they couldn't afford it. And so we were like, hey, don't worry about it. Just use the classes. Yeah. Like, it was like, don't even worry about this right now. Because, I mean, if this was the one thing that will get you through the day, I could care less right now. Yeah. Like, this is a desperate time. This is a unique situation. We've never lived through this before. Yeah. So there's no right or wrong way. Right. There's only like, let's do what we can. Right. And let's do good.
So May comes in. Well, in between that, let's kind of talk. You know, you and Annie, you guys started doing this Convos with Lola podcast.
Yes.
It was an audio.
Yes.
It's an
audio podcast. Yeah.
And then it started probably last winter?
It did. It actually started in like the late fall. Okay. We were brainstorming over
of 2019.
Yeah. We were brainstorming over pizzas.
Nice. Yes. I want pizza today.
Yes. Yeah. We were sitting over there at Blaze Pizza on the patio with 4 pizzas, and people were staring at us with these 2 tiny little Latinx women mowing down on pizzas, talking shit and like writing stuff down, and people are just the looks, let me tell you. Well,
to be fair, Blaze's Pizza is not that big. So.
Well, no, it's not that big. And so people were kind of shocked, but yeah, we kind of,
came up with this podcast.
And it was one of those things where, you know, Annie was like, what do you want to talk about? You know, and I'm just like, I just want to have really honest and truthful conversations with individuals that are really making their mark, that are making a difference in some way, shape, or form, that have a voice that needs to be maybe heard, more amplified. I want to talk to individuals that are doing good. Yeah. You know, but I wanted to have real conversations. Yeah. I didn't want to have a scripted,
frou-frou shit.
Yeah. I wanted, like, let's have some hard conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
So Convos with Lola came out fall of 2019. Yeah. We now go into the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think I reached out and I said, hey, you guys want to do some live streaming? because I had bought all this fancy ass equipment.
You did.
Yeah,
yes.
I pivoted during
You pivoted too. Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I got some time. We're at a slow state in our stuff because we're just we're a company that depends on other businesses.
Yeah.
So when the other businesses were ready to rock and roll after, being locked down and things like that, I was like, what do you guys think of this? And so we did our first Convos with Lola live stream.
Yes.
With Annie and Abby.
Raise the Bar Initiative. Yay. Did it, ladies.
You've always been a part of this nonprofit.
Well,
for the most part. I think it was like in their second year that I got majorly involved. I wasn't able to get involved in their first year, in their infancy of it, but in the second year because I had Sam Holstein, who's a good friend of mine and client, compete in it and stuff. And she did badass. She's good. So, and Meddy was actually supposed to be, whenever this whole virtual school thing ends, Meddy was actually going to run the barbell club at Roosevelt High School.
Yes.
So you were going to be the coach.
I was. I hope that we still have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's just whenever Des Moines Public Schools gets back in it.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
They started off in East. And
they did.
And I think
killed it.
Yeah, they killed it. And then they asked you to come in to do Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Because isn't that your alma mater?
No, it's not. It's just I just live close by.
Got it. Okay, so that makes perfect sense.
I just live close by, but no, it was
Meddy was actually going to run the barbell club with Annie and Megan on that, and then the pandemic happened. And I think that's been put on hold. But
it has been. I was very honored when they asked me.
Yeah.
So
because I remember Abby talking about it with me, and I was like, she'd be awesome at it. Just got this amazing passion for strength training and especially with young girls.
Absolutely.
So
So
we had them on in our old studio.
Yes.
And then
very different.
Yeah, very different. And then we did a second one with Whitney Warren.
We had Whitney Warren, yes.
Unapologetically Extra.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first time I met Whitney.
Yeah. And now you guys are collaborating a lot.
She is our collaborative
partner.
Yeah, photographer partner.
Yeah.
Because we have two of them.
Yes.
So Whitney's definitely one. Whitney's somebody that if anybody out there needs a good portrait, headshot.
If you just want to feel good, I'll tell you what, like Whitney's really good at making you feel damn good and bossing you around at the same time. I did not believe it till Annie told me that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. She's like, do this, do that, pose here.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm just like, I mean, she works.
She gets it.
She works. And I'm like, you're sweating and taking the photos. I'm sweating just trying to look good over here.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is. She's great.
So we so we brought Whitney back in, and then you guys have continued the audio podcasts as well.
Yes.
So if I wanted to find the audio podcast, I can go on.
So it is on Spotify, on Anchor, on we are on iTunes as well. So and then there's a couple others that I don't remember, but I know that iTunes, Spotify, and Anchor are the three majors. So
and it's Convos
with Lola podcast.
Because I've had a tendency to put conversation.
No,
and then that's not them.
No, that's not us.
Yeah,
we actually need to update our picture because it's us standing very powerfully, but I think we need new shit.
Well, Whitney does work out at your gym.
She does work out at our gym. Yes, we've had that conversation. So
it's on that list, that grocery list of stuff to do.
Oh my God, so many things. Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah.
So so we've talked about combos with Lola, the gym, and then Meddy's always had this undercover passion for nonprofits. Truly, you really have.
Yeah.
And you've had a hand in them from the outside, and then you recently just took that step into a nonprofit, which is Grace Fitness, right?
Yeah, with Grace Fitness.
So for those that don't know what Grace Fitness is, talk to us about that.
So Grace Fitness the founder is Zakiya English, and oh my God, she is amazing.
She is.
God, she's just amazing.
She sent me an email back after I met with her.
Did she?
Yeah, straight up saying, she said, I'd fuck with you.
Yeah.
I was like, I made it. That's how you know you make it.
You made it. You know you're in. You were invited to the cookout.
Yeah.
Yes. So she founded this organization called Grace Fitness, and it is a nonprofit organization. And what it does is it reaches out to the underserved population communities, namely Black and Brown communities of color. And what she is doing is she is trying to bring and raise awareness and invite those individuals to work out, to make healthy transitions into a better lifestyle.
Because she's had to do that herself.
She has had to do that herself. Her story is amazing. Like, yeah, she has had to do that herself. She took it upon herself to really adjust her weight and everything and get into fitness, starting off with yoga and everything. And she is, have you ever taken one of her classes?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I was out of town when the first one where Annie was there.
Yeah. Well, when we did the Black Health Challenge, she led the class. I was like breathing heavy, and all we're doing is like moving.
Annie said the same thing.
It was crazy, and she's got all this energy. She's out there dancing, doing her things. Like, we warmed up to the Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah, that's what Annie said, and I was like, damn it.
Yes, we warmed up
to the left.
Yes, we warmed up to the Cupid Shuffle, and even Morgan was like, "Oh my God, can we do this in class?" And I'm going, "You get our crew to do this." Yes. And Zakiya was like, "I'll come in and get him to move." I'm like, "I'm sure you will." Like, no doubt. But yeah, and she just makes it, she really makes, she makes fitness accessible to people in different degrees. I used to really pride myself on saying that. And it wasn't until recent events over the summer that I realized that we weren't truly accessible. Okay. We financially, like, I was so honed in on like movement wise and scalability and introduction, like putting people at ease in an uncomfortable situation, being inviting and welcoming is what we were doing. But the financial aspect, I wasn't able to fulfill.
Okay.
She's able to do that.
Right.
And so for me, when I would tell people, you know, we make health and fitness accessible to everybody, and it like struck me that I was lying in a sense, or not necessarily lying, but like it didn't sit well with me when I realized that no, it's not genuinely that accessible.
Okay.
It is a luxury for a lot of people. And there are folks out there that for a lot, health and fitness is a life or death decision, or it's like pay the bills, you know, pay the rent, or go to the gym. She has something already in the works. She has something that already exists, and I wanted to be a part of that because I didn't want to start something. I don't know the first thing about nonprofit. I don't. And so I didn't want to generally go into something and start from the ground up. I wanted to help somebody that was already doing the work.
Right.
And so I reached out, and I actually met her through Rob Johnson, who's a wonderful individual. And I met him because him and my grandmother have ties and stuff. My grandmother has always been, my grandmother is an activist herself.
Yeah.
She's always been a huge activist, especially in the Hispanic community.
Correct.
And unfortunately, like with the pandemic, she's not able to be active and be out in the world right now. She's 93.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you know, and she herself, we have a scholarship for her that we do in her honor for students for higher education and stuff. And I do want to talk about that a little bit. But that's how I met Rob Johnson. And then Rob was like, I need to introduce you to Zakiya. And then it just kind of snowballed into there. And then we started this thing, the brainchild, you know, Rob needs to get the credit for it, but the Black Health Challenge. And then we did that in the fall, invited folks out, talked about fitness, talked about like, and everything. We talked about mental health. We talked about nutrition, talked about physical fitness, even just like financial assistance and help like that, introducing people that maybe weren't aware of the services that are out there.
Right. I think that's half the challenge is just bringing that awareness to it.
Yeah. And so then we wanted to do a follow-up. And so then Zakiya and I, we kind of, you know, started working together more closely and everything. And then she really, like, her organization really took off with turning the Black Health Challenge into a virtual event.
Oh, nice.
And so we did a week. And I mean, she like pulled it out of the park. Like I supported her however I could, but it was, it was a lot of her and her and her program director, Kevin, that really like took off. Took off with it. And then I have kind of, man, I'm going to put this out there now. So this is a big deal. We had talked and met, but I am developing a seminar for inclusion in fitness.
Nice.
And I'm working with Eric Dominguez.
Yes. Eric Dominguez.
I remember that podcast.
Eric Jake Dominguez.
Yes. he's like, say your name. He's like, and he gets all like in there, and he's like Eric Dominguez. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, say it, Antonio.
Yeah. But so I have been working on that, and then Zakia and Kevin and I will then be working more closely with that. So in the developing stages of this, I've kind of kept it to myself a lot because there's just a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Lots of information. I'm hearing a lot of stories. I've been taking in a lot of people's stories, and now it's just dialing it in and making it a concise thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because we are going to have to do it virtually.
Till the world changes.
Yeah, till the world changes. We need to do it virtually. And so, but I want to do it right.
Correct.
Like that's the biggest thing is I want to do it. I want to represent it well.
Correct.
Because I think it is important.
It is. Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I am a board member of Grace Fitness.
Excellent.
So check them out.
Yeah, Grace Fitness. So let's just kind of run down all the social media channels, websites, and things like that real quick. Because I don't think we've had a chance because we've just kind of gone from...
We've gone from one thing to the other, and we'll talk... And
so
then,
if I'm somebody new and I want to reach out to Black Collar CrossFit, what's the best way?
Email, or you can direct message us on Facebook or on Instagram. Email is going to be hello@blackcollarcrossfit.com.
We'll scroll that.
Hello.
Right down there.
Hello.
Yeah. My interns are really good about that.
Yes, they do an amazing job.
Yes, they do. They work for me. That's why.
Yeah. and then we're on Instagram. So it's Black Collar CF for Instagram.
Okay.
And then just Black Collar CrossFit on Facebook.
Okay.
Is that those are the only two social media channels that I mess with. There's a lot out there, but those are the only ones.
That's all you have the time for.
Truly, that is all. The other ones annoy the shit out of me. To be really honest,
they're just so hard. They're just
so hard.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep up. I can tell you that. Yeah. And then so a lot of people also don't know that you can get a tri membership.
Yes.
Meaning 3.
Yeah.
You can go to Black Collar, Merle Hay, and Valley Junction.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are interested in that, like if you know that you're going to be on one side of town and you can't make it to Black Collar, you can always check out Merle Hay.
The other two. Yeah,
or
for
Valley
sure.
Junction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Grace Fitness's website information is...
Oh my gosh. gracefitness.org, I believe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they are on Facebook as well, and they're on Instagram too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are somebody that you don't have all, you're accessible to the funds to get your fitness together, reach out to Grace Fitness and they will have that conversation with you and try to help you in any way that they can to help you get back into...
They don't turn anybody away.
Yeah, they really don't.
That's what's really amazing about it and stuff. And even if you want to get in touch with me, I'm happy to introduce you to them as well.
Yeah.
So,
they're not inaccessible people.
Yeah, no.
They're here in Des Moines.
Yes,
so
they are. Yeah. And Zakia does classes like via online.
Yeah, she does. So she gets it. Hustling. Yeah. For sure.
Yes.
And then before we go, why don't we talk about your grandma real quick and that program?
Yes. So we have a scholarship. It's called the Mary Ecompos Scholarship. Right. And it was started by my cousin through Alexito, which is a program for Latinx youth. And they help get our Latinx community students to, prepared for college, jobs, all that good stuff.
Right.
And what it is my grandmother is a very, very firm believer in higher education.
Right.
She wanted to be a nurse when she was younger in her youth, and unfortunately being poor and being, you know, with being Hispanic, my great-grandmother worked in the fields along with my great-grandfather, and they had 9 kids. Yeah. And it wasn't possible. Like, they're just, higher education was a little bit out of reach. Yeah. And so my great-grandmother did an amazing thing. She wanted her children to be well educated, even if they couldn't go to a higher education. Right. So she stuck their head in books, which is something that my grandmother always jokes about, because she's like, this is why I'm a terrible cook. She goes, because your great-grandmother wanted us to be intelligent. Yes. So she would rather have us read than cook. Because my great-grandmother, God love her and bless her soul, she's not here anymore with us, but she was the matriarch of our house. Yeah. So she was the one that cooked and did everything. She told us she was never going to die. Yeah. She lived to be 101.
Good for her. That's awesome.
So they live. Women in my family live a long time. So
you're gonna outlast him?
I don't know. Probably not. No.
Oh, okay.
But we. So my cousin wanted to really start this scholarship in honor of her, and it is a scholarship for Latinx youth. Those even who are undocumented, because it is very difficult if they want to go to college. Yes. It is extremely difficult. It is extremely expensive. And a lot of these kids, they're first generation college kids.
They are.
That's a huge burden.
Yeah.
And so.
But it's a major accomplishment.
It's a major accomplishment. Yes. It's a major accomplishment. It's a huge burden. There's a lot that these kids are dealing with. Both black and brown kids are dealing with. Yeah. And so we started the scholarship. Last year, I believe the scholarship, we raised about, I want to say like $9,000. This year was incredibly amazing. Wow. We raised over $20,000.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And how many kids did you guys help?
I don't know yet, because we're like going to go, there's like an application process and everything, but it is just incredibly cool to think where before, when we were starting this, and reading these you know, kids' stories, like
their essays.
They're essays. And I tell you what, like, I told my cousin, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't read and then decide, because there's so much, like, these, I can't imagine, like, these stories are like, some of this stuff is like out of the movies, you would think.
They're just so powerful.
Right. And so we did our best the first year. Yeah. Now it's exciting to see that we have so much more to work with, that we might be able to, like, give kids at least a semester. Yeah. You know, pay for a semester.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, pay for books. Yeah. Pay for, you know, a few months worth of rent if they're going to be living on campus or whatever. Yeah. So my goal, and this was something that I had, it's funny because I talked to Nate about a couple of years ago, was that, and I think he kind of didn't believe me, or kind of laughed a little bit internally, but I had told him, I said, I want to be a millionaire. And I was like, but it's not because I want to be rich. Yeah. It's because I want to fund my grandmother's scholarship and I want to help people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, I don't need all that damn money. I want to truly, like, do better and do good.
This is your legacy.
Yeah. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah. So, this is what you want to leave behind.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're starting that. So it was exciting. The gym was able to donate to my grandmother's scholarship, and next year we're going to donate more. Yeah. And everything, and we're just going to keep it going.
So if I'm a kid, that's, you know, Hispanic. Yeah. Where can I go to apply for the scholarship?
So you can go through Alexito, and I'll get you the pronunciation and the spelling and everything, but you would apply through them and stuff.
And then it comes to you and your cousin.
So yeah, my cousin, who's the president, she'll, like, get all the information and stuff, and then they'll take them through all the process and everything. So yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah. And Convos with Lola, check us out.
Yeah, we'll scroll all that information.
There's a lot
throughout this podcast. We have tons of B-roll Ds too.
Yeah. So
wow. I mean, so Meddy,
yes, ma'am.
We've run out of our time, but we'll most likely, because, you know, well, I ain't gonna lie, she's a really close friend of mine, so she'll probably be back.
Hey.
Or we might do another Convos with Lola.
We might.
Mm-hmm. Again, thank you for your time. You know, anybody that's out there, that if you're looking for a strong CrossFit community, please check out Black Collar CrossFit. You do offer a trial.
Yeah, we do a free day.
A free day.
You get a free, come in, meet with the coach and check us out, see what we're all about. And everything. And we have nutrition coaching as well as personal training services, skill sessions.
Right.
We do it all. We do what we can.
So if you're looking for a strong fitness community, Black Collar CrossFit, highly recommend. If you're looking to be involved in either nonprofits, either Grace Fitness or the Mary E. Ecompos Scholarship Program, reach out to Meddy. And, we'll leave all that information inside of here. So...
For sure.
And then again, as well as, because Nate Yoho is a client of ours as well. If you're looking for a tri-membership with CrossFit, Merle Hay,
Valley Junction,
and Black Collar, you can always check out any one of their 3 websites. And then they'll be able to direct you from there. Meddy, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm honored.
It's always fun for our friends to come in and talk about all the passionate projects that they got going on.
It is cool. Thanks so much for having me. This has been great.
Appreciate it. All right. We out.